Hey guys, so for today's review, we've got the 2005 Disney Store exclusive Oogie Boogie, as well as the 2021 Lock, Shock, and Barrel Pumpkin Stack. Now, I would not normally showcase any part of the display prior to the walkthrough, but because I had a few requests regarding the 05 Oogie, I figured, you know what, I might as well get this review out. And I wanted to do a review of the modified LCB Pumpkin Stack, and because they're grouped together, it just so happened I could kill two birds with one stone and just do a double review of both. I got the Oogie for $175 on eBay. As soon as Josh sent me the link, I knew I had to jump on it. There were already quite a few washers, and I think it had been listed for maybe 15 minutes at the absolute most. It is kind of the holy grail of Jimmy Nightmare Before Christmas inflatables, because that one Jack I don't think is Jimmy. This was also sold the year I was born, and it's just a very special Oogie to have. It is probably the best looking Oogie, I think. At 8 foot tall, his kind of pose I think is just the most natural, and it looks the best. Now as we move to the back, this fan is like an SJD whatever B2. Anyway, the fan is crap. It's a classic fan. The fabric is also quite soft, but it does inflate really well, so that's not an issue whatsoever. You also can see the touchstone pictures, little tag at the back, as well as the Jimmy Industries one right there. Now, just a reminder, this fan is a YF60. I would say it's actually a little bit stronger than the classic fan over there. However, they both inflate, relatively well, and as much as they should. So, with that, we will go ahead and inflate them. Impressed with how these two look together. I did not expect the pairing to work as well as it does. It just so happened that the modification of the Lock, Shock, and Barrel Pumpkin Stack was right around when Oogie became available, so it made it relatively easy to plan the rest of the display, because I knew that I had two inflatables that would not change. They would always be together, and it makes a larger inflatable easier to plan, considering they just take up more room, so it kind of counted as one unit, if that makes any sense at all. Something that's relatively amusing is that this is the first time I am seeing Oogie in the 12 o'clock sun. I staked it down during the evening hours of the night, and it has not been inflated during like the early or the middle parts of the afternoon. There's been a lot of wind, and I don't set up until around 6:15, so I am looking at the Oogie really all lit up by the sun for the first time ever, at least in person for me. So it looks great. It looks even better than it did. We'll move over to the Lock, Shock, and Barrel Pumpkin Stack. Now, they actually did a swap with Lock and Shock. I figured that Lock would be at the top just to go in, sequential order. They decided against that. Not really sure why. You do end up with Barrel at the bottom, though, with his large kind of circular face, so that makes sense. Taking a look at my aunt's patchwork, I think she did just a wonderful job. The fabric, which is the same color orange, was supplied by Jake, but she did all the stitching. Now, this is the smaller of the two patches. The one at the bottom, as I step on the tether, is huge, but because it's at the side, you would never be able to see it. Even the one that's really right next to Shock's face, we're 30 foot from the road, so it doesn't matter. No one would even notice it. And if someone came up to it, I don't know why they would. If I were giving like a private tour, it just adds some character to it. So the hat up at the top has little to no importance, but I do like it. Moving back to Oogie, which is obviously my preference. You've got your, of course, classic D-ring and then your metal clip-ons. I really do like this. It feels nostalgic for sure, and it does work. It's not like they're weak. It has a weaker fan, but the tethers that it comes with, I think, are super strong. They did swap out the D-ring for just the tether that's actually attached to right there, so that is the evolution of Jimmy inflatables, but I still like that a lot, and it's not something I need to replace, right? It still works super well. You've got a very pointy Oogie Boogie hand with no dice. That is a difference. It's one of the differences between the modern and this type of Oogie Boogie inflatable. There are no dice, and also, speaking of differences, it's got a very pointy head. The other ones kind of sag at the top, but this one has a very defined point, as you can see there. Now, the back has some stains to it. I've been very fortunate to not have any stains at the front. They, for whatever reason, have kind of just stayed towards the back. So I will be cleaning him before I put him away for the Halloween season. As I move over here, trying to get you some better angles, I am spoiling some of this year's display, but I knew that was the price I had to pay to film this review. There were some of you who really wanted to see Oogie Boogie, and I figured, you know what, might as well just say screw it. There is a worship circle happening, so that is your one major spoiler. I'll just say that. If I continue this direction, there will be many more, and I'm just not going to do that. I will say that the pumpkin stack has, I think, 4 C7s, and Oogie Boogie has 5. I took a really cool photo of that. I got underneath it, opened up the zipper, and just shot it from that angle. I did an ultra wide, and somehow the ultra wide did not look as good as just a regular photo. As if my allergies weren't bothering me enough, sticking my eyes and nose directly inside where the fan is was certainly a smart choice. So anyways, thank you all so much for watching this review, and I'll see you next time. Peace out. Bye.